Welcome into Chalk Talk Social. It is Tuesday, September 16th. And hey, Lions hung 50 on former coordinator Ben Johnson. We had a lot of good-looking games this week and a lot of not-so-good-looking games this weekend. Lots of college football things we're going to have to dive into. But like always here with my co-host, Iman. What is going on?
Nothing much. Austin, just started the week, man. I'm excited. Track is going on right now. The World Championship still. It'll be going on to Friday. Football, more football, and more football. I'm super excited. So it's time to get things started.
Woo! Yes, that sounds like just an impeccable schedule, if you ask me. I mean, after this weekend, something's going on in the NFL. We got a lot of quarterbacks banged up right now. It's like Justin Fields, Jaden Daniels, JJ McCarthy, Brock Purdy, Joe Burrows, dead again. Oh my God, I can't wait to get into that. I have words that I will not be mincing about the Cincinnati Bengals. And let's just say this, investigations are going to need to be launched. I'm ready to launch investigations on the Cincinnati Bengals over the mishandling of Joe Burrow. More on that to come. And I know we're going to have some college football to talk about because you had an in-house rivalry, Notre Dame, Texas A&M. The girl has got to be feling good because her Aggies got your Irish in a
in the nail-biter walk-off.
Yep.
I'm going to be honest. I was a little depressed Saturday, but Sunday, my Baltimore Ravens knocked off her Cleveland Browns because she's from Cleveland initially. So I kind of got – it's 1-1 right now. Her college team won, but my NFL team won. So,
yep, that is always how it goes. And we'll pull up a picture at the end of the episode. A picture of her, right, celebrating, rubbing in your face. Is that what I'm talking about?
Just rubbing it in my face a little bit.
And we can hear her like screaming it up. So, but per usual on a Tuesday, we got the top headlines, the top 10 in 10, and I swear, people, we are gonna lock in. This time is 10 minutes. I think we're gonna get better at this. Don't hold me to it, but we're going to get in 10 minutes this time. The top 10 headlines in 10 minutes. Starting now, number one, like I said, no Ben Johnson, no problem. Lions hang 52 on the Bears in their first matchup with the OC. And I think it's pretty clear after watching that game, the Bears right now have a Caleb Williams problem. That part is pretty evident. The Lions with a nice bounce-back performance against after that loss to the Packers. But wow, what a game for that Lions offense in Johnson's first stint against the old team. Iman, number two.
Number two, the Cowboys was able to squeak out a win against the New York Giants, 40-37 in OT, where, man, both defenses couldn't stop a nosebleed. And I will say, Dak had a good day. He was 34 for 52 for 361 yards, 2 touchdowns. And my man, Russell, he must have heard the whisperings about him getting pushed to the bench. Man, what a day. Russell Wilson was 30 for 41 for 450 yards. And yes, he threw a bad interception in OT, but he had 3 big-time touchdowns. If it wasn't for his defense, he put his team on his back this week. So shout out to Russ, but hey, Dak got it done this week.
Yep. All right, number 3, the Colts walk off the Broncos in dramatic fashion after a leveraging penalty. Forced the game-winning field goal that the Colts missed to be redone, got them better field position, and then, as it would be, the Colts then go on and walk it off. After that, in leveraging penalty, say what you will about it. I mean, from what I saw, and again, I don't know about the exact rules on this. I didn't do enough research on it, but it looked like he pushed that O-lineman straight down to the ground, or the center. It looked like he pushed him down a little bit. Am I wrong? And I don't know, but you can't touch him, right? And so that I was like, I know a lot of Broncos fans are pissed, but like, look, Danny Dimes looked good again. That Colts team moved the ball against what came into this season as a stout Broncos defense. What everyone knew is it's going to be one of the best defenses in football, right? At Surtain and some dogs on that defense, Danny Dimes and the Colts, they kind of took control of them, right? And this team might be legit. And I don't think it's crazy to say they are the best team in the AFC North right now. And Lord, no, I never expected to say that. The Colts would be the best looking and best on paper team in the AFC North right now. So number 4, Iman, what do we got?
Number 4, after Cincinnati win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, 31-27, they got bad news again. Joe Burrow is out for 3 months with a turf toe. Listen, Joe Burrow has actually missed 19 games. I'm saying 19 games since he's been drafted in 2020, and it looks like he's going to be out for 3 months. So that's maybe at least 8 more games. But at this point, what can Cincinnati do? They spent $160 million on Chase, $100 million on T. Higgins. They've given Trey Henderson an extra $14 million to give him $30 this year. So yes, y'all spent a lot of money on your offensive places, but not on the line. So what will they do? I don't think Jake Browning is the quarterback that's going to be able to win these games for them. So it's looking like they're going to miss the playoffs again because I don't see Joe Burrow coming back. Turf toe is a bad injury, which is hard to come back from. Yeah, especially a quarterback that plants and moves. So it looks like bad news for Cincinnati again. No playoffs. Sorry.
Man, all that money on not Joe Burrow. Shocker how that plays out. Number 5, behind a swinging gate of an offensive line, J.J. McCarthy is humbled back down to earth after that strong fourth quarter finish in week 1 that kind of surprisingly earned him player of the week honors. But look, and I know you're for him, and I still like his attitude. I like his grit. I like his mentality. But let's be honest, the guy has played 1 good quarter of football, 1.5 at best. Good quarters of football so far, and it's been hard to watch him make downfield passes. You saw the one yesterday, the wide open. Chris Collinsworth was saying it. That is your dream. Your whole life, you dream of that moment, that pass, that play. It was like Christian Watson week 1 dropping that wide open first play of the game touchdown. That's like, you dream of that. J.J. McCarthy missed a gimme big touchdown play. And, look, I know he's still growing and settling into that starter role. But again, let's not be fooled and say he's any type of quality quarterback at the moment. By all accounts, his stat lines as a passer, as a quarterback are not good. They're at best average. Look, you can do some dynamic things with him. But look, the offensive line is not helping. The Falcons just were living in the backfield. So that obviously had a big part to play in it. But look, he's got a great coaching, great weapons. And, maybe it's just he's young, still used to it. The Falcons took control of business, but he's nowhere near the point of elevating that offense right now. And right now it's kind of him and that O-line without Darisaw holding back the Vikings from, a stronger start. They're 1-1, but look, they haven't looked. They're not clicking on offense yet. What do we got, number 6?
Number 6, I think it's time that we're hitting this panic button in Austin. Hey, listen, the preseason Heisman frontrunner, Arch Manning Jr. is looking awful. And not only that awful, that the crowd is starting to boo this guy. So not only I'm seeing it, not only you seeing it, but the fans are not going with what he's doing. He was 11 for 25, 114 yards, and he just looked confused out there. And granted, he used his feet a lot. He ran for over 50 yards for 9 rushes for 50 yards. So yes, he's learning to use his feet a little bit more. But I can see why Quinn Ewers started for 2 years. If he was worse than this last year and the year before, there's no reason he would have played. So I'm not sure they can win an SEC championship or a national championship with this type of play. And I'm getting all this, hey, it's a little early, let him go. But my quarterback eyes are seeing some things that is just baffling, and it got me scared that, hey, I think he's going to be a bust. And maybe that's why we don't see Peyton Manning at the game, because he's waiting for his son Marshall. But I think Arch Manning will be a bust.
Ooh, calling it out. And look, at the very least, he has not lived up to the bill. Not yet. So there's some things to turn around. All right, going over to number 7. Yeah, also, Boo Birds versus UTEP. That's crazy. Number 7, college football rankings show its true colors for the first time this season. They've showed you it's all about strength of brand. Your strength of schedule doesn't really matter, right? Notre Dame, the first team in 37 years to start 0-2 and somehow remain ranked. They're at number 24 after an 0-2 start. They've not looked good. And here's the other thing, right? USF, after that crazy start they had, they just lost to number 4 Florida. Right now, probably the favorites, if not one of the top 2 favorites to win the national championship, is who they just lost their first game to. After beating 2 ranked teams, they've now got booted from the top 25. After an insanely impressive start, they lost to the top national championship, contender right now. Meanwhile, like I said, Notre Dame somehow stays ranked at 0-2. And teams like Alabama are coming off beating freaking School of the Blind, ULM, Louisiana Monroe, and Wisconsin does not have any pulse in that offense. They come off beating those two teams and are flying up the top 25 after a horrendous start against a real program. Florida State, who's now ranked 7th. So that's a real program this year, and they got shit pumped by Florida State. But somehow they beat School of the Blind in Wisconsin, and they are flying up the boards. Iman, what's the break?
Number 8, I don't know if it's me or what's going on, but my eye for these quarterbacks this year has been all off. Listen, I hyped up Arch and I hyped up DJ Lagway a couple weeks ago, and man, was that a horrible game against LSU. He has an all-time 5 interception in one game is just like, I've never done that. I'm just being honest. I don't think I've thrown more than 3, but goodness grief, I am really putting the mojo on these quarterbacks. And literally, Florida has fallen to 1-2. I think he might have sealed up his coach's fate by getting fired this year. And Heisman is not even in the consideration anymore. And granted, he's still young. He's only a sophomore. So I do want to pump my brakes on him because he shows some good things during the game, but his decision making is terrible. And granted, LSU was a great defense, but see, they lost their starting middle linebacker like the first series of the game. So I was really thinking Florida was going to take control of the game, but he couldn't. But DJ Lagway, you're making me look bad. I hyped you up, and man, you've been doing nothing but looking like a trash bag since. So
yeah. Not great. Number 9, speaking of quarterbacks, this one doing really well. Appalachian State transfer and current Tennessee quarterback Joey Aguilar. What did I tell you? If Tennessee was going to win that game against Georgia, it was going to take a monster performance out of Aguilar. That's what I said. Almost lived up to it. He started the game 14 for 14. Obviously, they come up short in the last minute to Georgia and fall in a just absolute shootout game. But again, first SEC quarterback to start with that 14 for 14 line in the last 20 years. He finishes with 371 yards, responsible for 5 tuds. He had an amazing first half, got slowed down a bit in the second half. But look, he's now completed 69% of his passes, has 7 tutties, 1 interception, second in the SEC in passing yards with 906. This kid, coming from Appalachian State, going to the SEC and instantly dominating a national championship contender team, mind you. Really impressive stuff by Joey Aguilar. That kid's well on his way to some special stuff in Tennessee, it looks like. Number 10.
Number 10, last. I spoke about her last week. Melissa Jefferson-Wooden was able to cap off an historic season this year. She's been undefeated in the 100-meter dash all year long, and she just won the world championship in the 100-meter dash at 10:61, which is the fourth fastest time from a female all time. FloJo with 10:49, Elaine Thompson with 10:54, Carmelita Jeter got her at 10:60. So salute to Melissa Jefferson, and she starts the 200 preliminaries Wednesday. So we're going to see if she can cap off a historic double. And I think she will, because her speed is just, tremendous right now. She's in great shape. Doesn't look like she's falling off. She's running rounds perfectly, not exerting too much energy in the prelims and the semis. But 10:61, come on. Y'all got to give her props. She was rolling. So salute to Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. Great season. Keep it going. 200 Wednesday. I'm going to see you then.
All right, and cut it with the top 10 and 10 at 11 minutes and 35 seconds. We're getting better. Hey.
Yes, we shaved off.
That's progress, baby. Look, there's some context I think matters in some of these stories. I don't want to shave off because we're not going to end up covering them. And but speaking to the ones we are going to need to touch on in a little bit. Like I said, I'm a little bit fired up right now, and I'm a little bit supercharged with this Bengals situation, right? You kind of touch on it, like is it Browning? Is there going to be a trade? What does it look like? But to kind of kick off that conversation, this is Andrew Luck 2.0. We've reached Andrew Luck 2.0. There's no proper quality investment in the offensive line, and sure as shit, Joe Burrow gets hurt again. There is keep investing in the receivers. Keep investing in your defense. Tell me the last time you're seeing a Super Bowl winning team walk into it with a bottom-ranked offensive line. It just doesn't happen. You got to take care of your top asset and your whole organization behind there. The Bengals have refused to do it. They're like, oh, we'll just pay everyone else. whoa, you're going to end up as living proof as it doesn't matter what you pay everyone else if your franchise quarterback is on the shelf every damn year. So this one's gotten out of control for me. Like I said, launch the investigations, organizational malfeasance. Something's going on where they're just like, let's just get Joe Burrow killed at all costs. It doesn't matter who we put out there. I don't know, Iman. I mean, I could
but they drafted linemen in the 3rd and the 5th round. But my only thing, Austin, is why not waste a 1st-round pick on a lineman?
Yeah.
Y'all drafted Shamar Stewart. He's not even. First of all, your defense is terrible. He wasn't going to affect the defense either way. Why not use your first 2 rounds where they're legitimate good guys to draft to be? Yeah, I mean, you can put them in and they can help right now. Those 3rd and 5th round guys, like, come on.
You got to hope, and you got to have great development.
But now I do blame Joe Burrow, though, because, in the offseason, he was pushing for them to sign T. Higgins. He was pushing them to pay Jamar Chase. He was like, listen, I'm going to be unhappy if y'all don't sign these guys. So he got to kind of take some blame for that. But, I mean, who's the GM there? Like, seriously. Who's the GM?
It needs to be somebody else is who it needs to be. Again, whatever the reasoning that they have paid, who they've decided to pay, how many years do you need to see this to keep happening? How many years do you need to not be a competitive football team to keep doing the same thing? What's the saying? If you keep repeating, it's sanity. Just keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. The Bengals are the definition of insanity right now with their structured investment. So what do you think? What do you do if you're the Bengals at this point? Who do you lock in Jake Browning? Do you make a trade? If we look at it, Jake Browning, right? So in his starts, he's 4-3 as a starter. You're right. Is he going to be your get him through the playoffs guy? Probably not. But regular season starting, Jake Browning, 71.5 completion percentage, like 71.5 completion percentage in 7 games starting, pretty damn good. He's got 11 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and he's averaging 267 yards a game. It's not like he's got bad numbers by any stretch. And my God, does he just pepper Jamar Chase with targets, as we saw in this last game. So, I mean, when you got Jamar Chase and Higgins, they kind of bail you out a little bit too, right? And you got good backfield stuff. But he's not been bad. So do you go Jake Browning? Or there's rumors swirling, Malik Willis. The Bengals are making calls on Packers backup Malik Willis after what he's shown with Jordan Love out. He looked really good. The Packers got him for a dryer sheet from the Titans, and whatever they get back, like, that's going to be a win for the Packers. Now, I think Malik Willis probably cost you a 5th at worst, maybe a 4th. We'll see how they value him because he's still on a rookie deal too. The thing is, I just don't see the Packers trading him without it being King's ransom because of what he did with Jordan Love down. And now with what the team has on defense and the structure, the whole team, like, if Jordan Love goes down again, Malik Willis probably can win you a playoff game. And he probably doesn't have to do much to win it. And do you want to take the chance of removing that? Probably not. And then there's Jameis Winston. I like this one a lot personally. No, I mean, he's just the 3rd stringer. I mean, can you imagine that offense? Jameis, Chase, and Higgins. You can't. He's going
to throw to the defense more than he's going to throw to the offense.
Well, he's going to be chucking.
Yeah, he's a gunslinger, but I think Jameis is a little bit past his prime. I'm with you. If Packers let Malik go, I would be surprised because when you got 2 good quarterbacks, you got a good problem. I tell people all the time, teams are as good as their backup. Can Jake Browning play? Yes, but I think the NFL has a little bit more film on him now. So I think when he gets into a starting role now, he's going to see a little bit more. Let me throw this by you, and I know nobody's talking about this. But what would you think about a Cincinnati calling maybe a couple miles up the road and say, hey, let me get Shedeur Sanders. Let me get Shedeur Sanders. You're not going to do anything with him. Clearly, you don't. He's 3rd string right now. Let us get Shedeur Sanders. Bring him on down with us. And they could probably get him for literally nothing right now.
Nothing.
And I think he would fit that system. He's an accurate guy. He can move a little bit. You got to think. Joe Burrow's a pretty athletic guy, and he's still getting killed. You got to bring somebody in. That's why Malik makes sense. You got to bring somebody in that can kind of move in the pocket.
Great athlete.
Effortless. You got to bring in somebody who's a little smarter, seeing things faster. I threw that when you first sent that. I was like, this would be a good time for them
I
to
thought
kind
about
of
it.
start seeing with Shador, hey, what would you want for Shador? Because they seen him play. They know he can play. And he's the future. Because like I know, Austin, turf toe can put you out for the rest of your career. So now they got to start making some decisions on the future.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing. Does it matter? Doesn't matter. Is this next guy just going to be sitting right next to Burrow on the IR in 2 weeks' time?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I was like, I like the idea of Malik Willis for them because he can move around, he can escape. But I just don't. I mean, the other name on this list is Kirk Cousins, and that seems unrealistic because he'd have to waive the no trade clause, and it'd be a whole ordeal just given the nature of his contract right now and what a trade package looks like because of it. And the biggest problem, of course, is the Bengals have $12 million in cap space, and Kirk Cousins accounts for $27 million as a backup this year right now. So it's a whole slew of problems. He's probably the best overall talent. He's also the most statue. I just don't see whoever it is for the
tree.
Yeah, exactly. But like the problem is this Bengals O-line. You saw in the play that Burrow got hurt. People were in the backfield like that, right? You and I could go rush and get to Joe Burrow in his lap in about
for sure.
It's bad. It looked bad. I don't know what they do. Jake Browning's been fine, but like you said, this is not a team that's going to win a playoff game at this point. It just simply is not. If you don't got the guy at quarterback, you better be elite everywhere else to bear it about like a Trent Dilfer Ravens situation. Like, not that Dilfer was like bad by any stretch, but look, let's be honest with the situation of what that team was, right? So I don't see it happening. Before we get into a fan on the show, let's finish up the conversation around some of those Heisman hopeful quarterbacks, right? Arch Manning, gone. DJ Lagway, gone. So what is the current Heisman field? Kind of give you what the like consensus tops look like right now, and then I'd love to hear who you are thinking is your favorite Heisman candidate right now. Carson Beck, Marcel Reed, quarterback out of A&M, Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer, Baylor quarterback Sawyer Robertson, Texas Tech quarterback Baron Morton, UW running back Jonah Coleman, and Texas A&M receiver Mario Craver, who I tried to warn you about. That boy plays football. Who is like your favorite right now? I got a lot of stats we could rip through on any of these, so curious to see who's like your number one guy right now, knowing that.
My number one guy would be Marcel Reed because he's playing competition and he's looking like a Heisman Trophy winner. Behind him, I would say Carson Beck, just because Miami is allowing him to just do him. He has, you talk about protection. Shit, Cincinnati need to draft somebody from their line because he's getting all the time in the world. Running backs, to me, you're just gonna have to put up a historical season for you to win. Also, at receiver, too, you got to think the season Randy Moss put up, he didn't win. Last year, last year's the two-way
receiver?
guy from Colorado. Yeah.
Oh, Travis Hunter,
yeah. Why was I getting – last year he played both sides, so I think that helped him win the Heisman, being a receiver. I just think it's so hard to win it at receiver because, like I said, I seen one of the greatest receivers not win a Heisman Trophy, and the season he put up was insane. So my front runner right now, I want to say Marcel Reed and Carson Beck. Once he get deep into that ACC kind of schedule, and it's looking like Clemson's not going to be an issue. So, he may run through that. Well, Georgia Tech's going to be a problem, but once he gets in that season, I think if he can continue his success, he can jump Marcel Reed because I think Marcel Reed will lose 2 games in the SEC. I think they will lose to LSU. And I think Tennessee got what it takes to upset another team. Kickers, I fucking hate kickers who can't do their job. Because let's be clear, they had Georgia won. But we are talking about Heisman. But, I think Marcel Reed will lose 2 games. So I think that's going to hurt him. And I think Carson Beck will go undefeated. So I'm going with Carson Beck right now.
I thought it was Marcel Reed. You're going with Marcel Reed or Carson Beck? Locking in.
Carson Beck.
Okay. There's numbers. And like you said, just before I move on, Georgia Tech, it feels like Georgia Tech and Vandy being ranked. First time they've both been ranked in the same week since 1984, first of all. And secondly, it just feels like 2 people just showed up to the party and no one knows who they are. And we're kind of trying to who are these guys? What are they all about? Because there's since when are we talking Georgia Tech Vandy being ranked? But look, the numbers between Beck and Reed, we can kind of expand a little bit here. Beck leads the nation right now on a 79.3 completion percentage. That is nuts. That is objectively an insane number for a quarterback. And look, he dominated Notre Dame and USF, both in there ranked, feeling, Notre Dame, still coming off the national championship game, and Beck gave it to him. And then Reed, man, again, like you said, after that Notre Dame game, that really helped his cause as well. He did struggle under pressure versus Notre Dame, but they just couldn't get to him enough. And so when he wasn't under pressure, he was 14 for 25 with 315 yards on 14 completions. He smoked that defense. He's tied second in the SEC for quarterbacks with 9 tugs, third in SEC passing at 869. And you're right, he just looked the part. I think we're like only ahead his worst round. I think he's going to keep getting better and better.
Yeah.
And then I think another name, I don't think, and as much as I love Jonah Coleman, he's averaging 7.4 yards a carry right now, and I agree with the receiver. And Mario Craver, the only receiver in the nation with 20 catches and averaging over 20 yards a catch right now, having a great year. I agree, probably not a chance in hell that they win it. A name for me, Sawyer Robertson, and just hear me out. I don't think he'll win it, but I think he's on pace to put up nuts numbers. Who is that one quarterback out of Hawaii who just put up stupid numbers?
Colt Brennan.
Yep. If he didn't win it, and maybe it's a different era, I don't see it happening, but Sawyer Robertson, quarterback of Baylor, let's remember, he absolutely murdered SMU when they're ranked number 17. He put up 440 yards and 4 touchdowns against number 17 SMU. He's second in the nation in passing. He's already got over 1,000 yards, 1,070. And he's tied second in the nation with 10 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. He's having an incredible year. Baylor's winning football games. And I'm just dark horse. I don't think he's going to win it, but he's my favorite. He might finish 4th in the race.
And the good thing, though, a Baylor quarterback's won before. RG3 won, so he's going to have a little bit of history and legacy on his side. So we'll see. We'll see.
I feel like the Mojos, I'm with you on Carson Beck right now, but I would love to see Marcel. I think Marcel Reed, Baron Morton's got nuts numbers. We can get into Baron Morton. He's got numbers. He's got a 208.4 passer rating. This guy is cooked. That's second in the nation, by the way.
Yeah, that's insane.
And he's averaging 11.4 yards of completion. His numbers are absurd. And he's not just playing dink and dunk football. He's putting the ball down the field. Yeah, I don't know.
Marcel Reed is probably the best quarterback I've seen this year, though. I mean, I seen a couple of those where I was like, he threw a 40-yard down the middle. Split defenders, and it was on the rope. And outside of him, Nussmeier looked good, but I think Marcel Reed, just pure talent, pure arm strength. And he's not a big guy, too. I think he can kind of get a little bit size to him, because the NFL is going to be big man, but just pure talent, arm talent. Like I said, I haven't seen too much of him. But that game, I was like, what is this?
It was a hell of a last drive. That game-winning drive was nice. And your guy, I know he's your guy, Malik Washington, still, his QBR sucks. We can be very honest, but he's looking like he's going to be a nice player. Still only a freshman, so I think he's on the radar for a couple seasons.
CJ Carr.
CJ Carr.
Yeah, CJ Carr was a starter.
Notre Dame's quarterback?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was talking about your guy. No, sorry, not Notre Dame. Malik. I know you like Malik Washington out of Maryland. You like him a lot.
Listen, he did it. You see what he did again this weekend?
He did. He's not been great, but as a freshman, he's going to be in this conversation, I think, pretty soon. Not this year, but soon.
If you ever get to the East Coast, I got to take you to a game because I'm not going to put my address out, but I literally stay up the street from Maryland, so we can walk. We can walk to a game. Ex-coach at Norfolk State that I know well. So I go to the Maryland games. We get in for free. You're going to have to see him sometime next year up close and personal. When I tell you, Austin, he reminds me of, and he's a little bit bigger than Reed. He's 6'4", but he's stout. You got to see him up close and personal. When you do, you'll be like, oh, okay. So next year.
If Badgers at Maryland next year, that could be the one.
Right up the street. I'm talking about we can walk to the stadium. Tailgate is crap popping off. Good time. Good time.
I like the sounds of that. I could afford to put a couple back in Maryland. Never been out there, so that'd be a good time. All right, let's get into today's fan segment. Today we're gonna look. Baseball's in its final stretch. We're in the home stretch, and I know we don't cover baseball a ton. We try, but as playoffs get in, we'll definitely get more. We're keeping pulse checks on baseball essentially. So today's pulse check on baseball, we're gonna have a fan join us. We're going to kind of get into his team, the Orioles, and then we're going to kind of get into a little bit of what he sees as the potential World Series winner and maybe MVP winner. So we got Josh in here with us. Josh, how are we doing? Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Hey, no problem. Have a good night.
Awesome. Hey, so you're a big Orioles guy, right?
I am, yes.
All right.
Yeah, they're having a good night.
They're having a good night. Oh, we're playing the White Sox, right?
Yeah, it's the White Sox. They better do well.
I was gonna say that's you start that game chalking. That better be a dub. But I mean, let's start with the Orioles, right? Probably they're not making the playoffs this year, right?
No.
69 and 80 right now. I believe they're about 69 and 80.
Yeah, they're around that.
Okay.
They're at that point where you wonder if they can get to 500.
Okay. That'd be a hell of a
math. Time's running out. You got to win most of them, and maybe we can sneak it up there.
Well, what have been your thoughts on the season? Right, a lot of young talent around the team. I know the Corbin Burns stint was quick, but what are your thoughts on this team and maybe how this season is wrapping up compared to what your expectations were to start the year for the Orioles?
Yeah. Well, this season was obviously a huge disappointment. I think this was the first time that even people outside of Baltimore were going into the offseason saying the Orioles have a shot at the World Series.
Yeah.
And the April and May were so bad for the Orioles that once they got healthy and once they started playing better and brought up rookies, it was way too late.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, the part that's fun now and frustrating is they've got Tyler Wells back in the rotation. They got Kyle Bradish back in the rotation. And suddenly they look like, oh, they're a really good team pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Which is hopeful for next year because they're all coming back, those guys. But it's kind of frustrating when you look at, well, if we had this 2 months ago, we could fight.
Yeah, and look, I think they're just coming off getting swept. And they're 6-4 in the last 10, even with the sweep. Yeah. The problem is the run differential is not there. They're at negative 94 run differential.
Oh, yeah.
They've been worse away.
That goes to that bad pitching that we've had all season.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, okay, so what's the brightest takeaway then? Who's like this team's MVP right now? Who's like at least we got him for next year right now? There's a couple guys.
Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers, he did not come up until end of May. Last week in May, he came up with the team. So his numbers aren't there as far as innings that he started. But if you look up Trevor Rogers numbers, it's Cy Young material. He put up numbers that no Orioles pitcher in history has done. He has a lower ERA than Jim Palmer had this many games into a season.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, Trevor Rogers, 16 games into the season, he is 8-2 with a 1.43 ERA in 100 innings and 93 strikeouts, a .89 whip. Holy shit. He is laying it down.
Yeah, but he's hitting in Baltimore, which is no one wants to talk about that story.
Hey, man, I'm a Brewers fan. I'm hearing that all day, baby. I want to hear more of this small market stuff.
No. Brewers are looking good this year. Brewers and Tigers are the teams I'm watching.
I love it. Well, I'm glad we got your support. Well, just Trevor Rogers, Cat. I mean, he looks good. You obviously got Gunnar Henderson up there. I mean, and Holiday.
The frustrating thing is figuring out what didn't click this year, and health was a major issue because we're set at almost every position, and we're one of the worst teams in baseball this year. It doesn't make any sense. But when you look around our entire infield, now that we brought up Samuel Basello at catcher, we have a few options at first base with Basello and Rutschman, or stick with Mountcastle, who's kind of been going downhill. But second base is set, Jackson Holiday. Shortstop is set, Gunnar Henderson. Third base is set with Jordan Westberg. The infield is set there. We've got Trevor Rogers, Kyle Bradish, Tyler Wells in the top of our rotation for next season. I'm not even talking about Grayson Rodriguez, who's been injured all season. If by some miracle he can walk. And then in the outfield, we've got Colton Cowser. Jeremiah Jackson has looked amazing, and he has never played the outfield until we called him up to play the outfield. So these are some guys where it's like suddenly it's like, well, what the Orioles need is a big, reliable veteran bat, a good outfield, probably an outfielder.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of things to be hopeful for next season, which makes no sense if all you do is see the box score of the Orioles are one of like the third or fourth worst teams in baseball.
Yeah, that is, and they're in a tough division. They're in the Yankees division. That's always going to be one of those problems. It's going to be a problem.
And that what's exciting for that, if you're a Red Sox fan or a Blue Jays fan or anyone else fighting in that wild card slot, is the Orioles are playing really good right now. Best baseball they've played all year. They're playing now, which doesn't make any sense. But once we finish this series in Chicago, we go to New York for 4 games. Then we have a quick series, and New York comes to Baltimore for 3 games. 7 of the last games are Yankees-Orioles. So Yankees are going to have to beat up on the Orioles. If the Orioles are playing the way they are, they could easily knock the Yankees out of that wild card slots.
So Josh, you're saying y'all have everything for us players. What do you think about manager? Do you think Tony should be able to be the full guy next year, or you think they should go out, get some new energy, or somebody young or somebody old?
Yeah. I change my mind every single day on this.
That's good. That means things are in a good spot.
Yeah.
I was known for years of complaining and hating and saying Brandon Hyde has to go. So Brandon Hyde was here too long. Brandon Hyde lucked his way into a longer job because he got that 1 year and won AL Manager of the Year. And then he was forced to bring back. He wasn't supposed to come back. He was supposed to handle the team when they sucked and then hand them to someone that knows what to do. But it's where we're at. I go back and forth because I see guys. I'll give you 2 dark horses, but I think the best case in-house with the Orioles is Buck Britton. He's bench coach.
Okay.
It came up from Norfolk with these guys. If you want to give a young internal guy a chance, it would be Buck Britton. And I was kind of annoyed that they did not give him the interim role because of that, to see what he could do.
I like it.
Got to show you my Norfolk tie hat right here, Josh.
I love the Norfolk shirt too.
Yes, sir. You see it? Got to show you the Norfolk tie hat, man.
So external, I think more than likely they are going to hire externally.
Okay.
I think there's a new wrinkle that we just learned this week about Mike Elias that we can talk to, but I'll tell you here, I've got 2 dark horse candidates. What I saw with this team last year is a young team that came up together and they're too young. They need guidance. They need a player's manager. And when I was talking to some different players and learning about different managers, the player's manager that everyone says is smart and Baltimore loved is Buck Showalter.
Oh, that's a name.
Because Buck Showalter was spoken so highly of by the players that the players could go to him anything, and he became like a dad to him. What we don't have that right now. And you could look at it with Brandon Hyde, where it looked like we were just driven by analytics, that there was no chemistry and leadership. And I saw a player talk about Buck Showalter and how he could just go to him and say, well, what about this situation? And Buck would say something. And then the player felt and had that relationship enough that he could then question and say, but what if I did this? And Buck will say, well, yeah, that would work too. That they had that relationship where that Adam Jones could come to him and say, hey, I think we need to change this up with the infield. And Buck would still talk to him about that, even though, and not this hierarchy of player, whatever, he had that team chemistry. So bringing Buck back is the one I've been leaning on lately.
How will the fans feel about that? The fans are going to like that fan reception?
Part of why that tunes into me is because ownership is now more connected to the fan base than it used to be. Good. Now.
Check.
And Buck Showalter came up for the Savannah Bananas game.
Ooh.
And got the loudest standing ovation.
Got pop.
With their guests. So which tells me that everyone in Baltimore still loves Buck Showalter, because for a lot of these people that are younger than me, he's the first manager that they saw win in baseball with.
That's fair. And look, if he's getting pop in the fan base already, look, and like you said, he's got experience, and I think that's good because, look, this is a team who, despite the injuries, they're 4th in baseball right now in strikeouts, and they got all the hitting talent that you can need. It's going to take someone like who just knows their shit, and you can just rely on, rather than like taking a chance on a new guy is always risky, as much upside as there might be with a team that's like ascending and like needs to get over some hump. To me, I like the idea of bringing back the guy that you feel like you can just trust more.
Well, I love that you're on that because my other dark horse is the complete opposite.
Okay, let's hear it.
He's a guy who hasn't a track record. So managers do less in baseball now than they've ever done, especially now with no DH. And you have pitching coaches, and you have bench coaches and base coaches that all have responsibility. The manager is really just the captain overseeing everything and pointing people in the right direction. The manager does not decide what pitcher to pull out of the bullpen. He goes to the pitching coach, and they talk and say, let's get this guy up based on these numbers. It's all driven by a clipboard and numbers and other coaches. So managerial experience, not even necessary. And now we're not going to be like the Colts and let the owner come down and just take notes and prepare to manage. But the manager, dark horse, is Adam Jones.
I like it.
Adam Jones, huge. The chance of this actually happening is 1%. Huge dark horse candidate. I don't even know if he'd be interested. But I know he likes coming back to Baltimore. I know the fan base. You talk about a fan base popping. They'd go crazy for that. He's got a relationship with the players that are currently on there a little bit. And we know that he loves that atmosphere. So if you want to bring in a guy that can bring this team of a bunch of young kids and bring them together and have a veteran presence in there, we're not hiding this guy on the bench or anything. Make him the manager.
I love that. And while and again, there's a little bit of ambiguity there. You're going to get popped. But like you said, like right now, we were talking about the Brewers a little bit. Their success has been largely driven by incredible pitching coach, who this is the best his pitching staff has maybe ever looked. And their hitting coach has just got all these guys doing the right things, playing the right types. And then Pat Murphy just really drives it all home. And like you said, is the captain. So I totally agree with that statement. And a good supporting cast.
It's building the supporting team around him.
Yeah, exactly.
It's building a pitching coach who could be a manager and make those decisions.
Yeah, and so if Adam Jones, you already got the talent, you put the right guys around him, it could work even without the experience, and you know you're going to get player buy-in. He's going to be a good, great clubhouse guy, which matters a lot.
Well, players and clubhouse, that's a check. Fan base is a check. And really, I don't think managers win or lose your ball games.
Not as much as anymore. Iman, you got anything about the Orioles you need to wrap up with?
Before we let you go, I see you got a lot of memorabilia in the background. Who are your top 5? I just want to get your top 5 Oriole players of all time.
Ooh, I like it.
All right. Well, this is all right. So 5. Here's the problem. You're giving me 5. That's 5 Hall of Famers right there. I mean, I am 45 years old, which means my childhood hero forever is Cal Ripken Jr.
Yeah, I mean,
easy. I got a signed Cal helmet right here.
Right. But then I named a daughter after Brooks Robinson because I named her Brooke Robin, because you cannot think of Orioles baseball without Brooks Robinson.
Facts.
So I have to throw him there. Now, here's where it gets tricky because you said best ever. So I'm going to lean away from best ever a little bit and go with some of my favorite.
Okay.
Because, I'm just going down the Hall of Fame list. I'm giving you Jim Palmer, Eddie Murray.
Yeah,
and just going down the list.
Eddie Murray's got to be on here.
No, and I was going to say, Eddie Murray is on my list because I got to watch him in the later end of his career and got to see him as a child, still see him hit home runs in Memorial Stadium and in Camden Yards. So I'm putting Eddie on there as well.
Love it.
Let's see. Let's go with, where am I? That's 3, 4. Mike
3.
Mussina.
Okay.
Mike Mussina is number 4.
Okay.
I forgot Mussina was with them. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, he was so good. We just had a cheap owner that wouldn't spend any money, so let him go to New York.
Yep, classic.
So Mike Mussina is the greatest pitcher we've had until maybe Trevor Rogers, but it's way too soon to put money on that guy.
That's 4.
All right.
That's a good one. I forgot
so
he was there.
Last one. All right. Again, I have to stick with my childhood. and I got to go Brady Anderson. Forget all the stuff he came in and did in the clubhouse where he was part of the management, but not. Leave all that out. But Brady Anderson, the player, all roided up. I can't think of childhood Orioles baseball without Brady.
Without him,
Fuck yeah. I love that we got a little bit of steroid era in that top 5. I love that. Let's go.
You need it. It's all that should be in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Steroids don't matter because you guys turned a blind eye. Just like you juice the ball and tweak the ball every few years, we don't make different Hall of Fames and block people for them.
God bless. And look, steroids are not making the backbone ball better.
Pete Rose should have the biggest statue in there and be in the Hall of Fame because baseball makes more money than ever off gambling, thanks to Pete Rose.
You're just speaking to the choir right now. All right, Josh, you're on a heater right now. So how about we wrap it up with your prediction for World Series winner this year?
I'm going to go Brewers. I'm going to give you your Brewers.
Hey, let's go, baby. I knew he was heating up. He was only heating up just to get hot.
They're a fun team. I'm not going to pick the Yankees or the Red Sox. I'm not going to pick the Blue Jays because they're division rivals.
Fuck them.
And it's like, all right, I like the Tigers. The Tigers have a good story going. Mm-hmm. But on the other side, you're not going to get me to root for Philly. You're not going to get me to root for the Dodgers. I got to go with the Brewers.
All right. Even though we're sound like a default answer, I love it. I'm here for it. I support it 100%. Obviously, as a diehard Brewer fan, I've been waiting my whole life for this moment for us to snap out of whatever dog shit play we've had for my entire generation. I'm ready to be hurt again, but I'm also very excited about the potential of what this team has, and it's like it feels like they have all the pieces working in perfect unison with the right guy captaining the ship. That the window's open.
How's DL Hall doing?
Who's that? DL Hall?
DL Hall.
I can't remember. All I know is Joey Ortiz could not.
Hurt.
I was gonna say he was hurt, and then Joey Ortiz couldn't put bat to ball all damn season. But wow, is he incredible defensively? And he just gets random hot moments hitting the ball, but like still, with our minor league system, with what it is right now, Joey Ortiz's days are numbered. As good as he is on defense, our minor league is loaded. His days are numbered. But we'll see. All right, Josh. Well, appreciate the conversation, man. I obviously love your World Series pick, and thank you so much for coming on and talking a little bit of baseball with us.
Anytime.
Any last words before you go?
No. If you're an Orioles fan, check out Section 336.
Section 3 is it podcast. At Section 336 on like Twitter and everywhere?
It's the longest going Orioles podcast. I think it's 12, 13 years.
Damn, congrats. Let's go.
So just anytime you search Section 336 podcast on anything, it'll come up.
All right, Section 336 for all your Orioles latest. God damn, that's a long stretch. Iman, hey, we're at 4 weeks.
Be there. Yeah.
Hey, we're at 4 weeks.
We're going to get there.
You'll get there. Hey, my other podcast is the Mike O'Mara Show, which is a daily comedy show, and it's been going for 16 years.
Gosh, man, you are just a killer in the game.
You're killing it.
Yeah, wow. Josh. Well, congrats on the longevity, my man. And hey, hope to talk to you soon. We'll be watching out for Section 336 every baseball season. But thanks so much for coming on, Josh.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. All right, man. I love one of my favorite things about sports, and that I've loved that we've got out of interactions with fans on this show, is hashing up some old names that just tickle something in your body just hearing some of these names.
Listen.
And some of these, like I said, didn't even remember Mussina pitched for them. I remember him as a Yankee, but the name alone just like, oh, he was so fucking good.
And it's crazy because a lot of people in my area are actually Orioles fans because of the Tides and the Norfolk Tides. My high school games were actually played at Harbor Park where the minor league team plays. So we were always at the games. I'm talking about from early 97 on. So, I didn't become a Baltimore Orioles fan, but I like the Tides. I do like the Tides because it's my only hometown kind of team to go watch. But yeah, hearing Cal Ripken Jr., man, I just remember him when just coming up, just the durability and just it's crazy. My mom liked him. Like, she liked his eye color. She doesn't know anything about baseball, but I promise you, that is a
good-looking fellow.
That's one person. She used to be like, that man is a gorgeous player. She knew nothing about baseball, but she loved Cal Ripken in his eyes somehow, some way, but neither here nor there.
Nope. Yep. Like I said, I got the signed Cal. The most random thing I have in all my memorabilia is a signed Cal Ripken Jr. helmet. But I think, and the reason and shout out to my pops for getting that one for me. It's just You don't ever get that type of player in sports anymore.
Yeah.
No one. I mean, Brett Favre, maybe the next closest thing in terms of that Iron Man, does not miss shit. But Cal Ripken genuinely did not miss shit for games, and that just does not happen anymore in sports. Like, praise of the guys who try their best to it, and baseball's not the most physical sport, but it's still a toll on your body, and you still get all these small muscle tears, right? So good to have some of those things.
Did he get that at a game or
no? He just okay. I've always been a big card collector. I've always been. Okay. I love memorabilia. So I got a couple. My latest gift is a signed Green Bay Packers pylon signed by Jaden Reed. Speedy recovery to him. Speedy recovery to him. So I got a couple of signed. Someone robs if someone robs my house, they'll get some things out of it. Right here behind me is the signed Ryan Braun Rookie of the Year bat. So I can't have anyone knowing where I live is pretty much what I'm saying at this point.
Yeah, goodness
All right, let's wrap it up for the show. Thursday night football preview. And this is going to be pretty quick. This is going to be an ass kicking. It's Bills-Dolphins. There's not much reason to spend a lot of time on this. I mean, unless you wanted to give a score prediction like freaking 56-13, perhaps.
I think Miami's offense is cooking a little bit more. Tyreek had a real good game, so
Did bounce back.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to try to force him the ball a little bit more, but I mean, it's not even going to be close. Did you see that play that James Cook, that touchdown run that he had where he hopped out? It's going to get ugly for Miami, but I think they'll probably score 3 touchdowns. Let's give them 3 because they're going to get blowed out. Buffalo will have backups in, and but it's not going to be close.
That's what I'm going to say, man. James Cook ascending in the running back charts in the NFL. He had a monster game. That Bills offense, I mean, whoo! I think the Bills score 50 this game. I don't know or care what the Dolphins do. It's going to be an ass kick. And whatever, if the Dolphins score 30 and the Bills score 50, it's going to be one of those games where it was much more of an ass kicking than that. It was really like watching a 50-0 type of game.
For sure.
Because, again, I think, and I could be wrong, right? I mean, all it takes is just to protect Tua a little bit. You have so many dynamic players on that offense. A-Chain is so dynamic. Tyreek and Waddle are just... They have the pieces. They just don't got the quarterback. And now who knows if they got the coach or not.
They don't have the coach. Mike McDaniels is...
I'm going to say, you're going to say he's not it.
And I think if they were playing another finesse team, but you're playing the Buffalo Bills where they're physical, they're roughnecks. Like Josh Allen is going to bring it to everybody on defense. Their defense is not as good as they could be, but it's a real physical team. So I just think Miami's going to fold like a lawn chair against a physical team because they're just soft because their coach want to wear glasses like me on the sideline. And, I hope he gets fired.
Hey, he looks damn good doing it, but the product does not match the swag.
Yeah.
It is not, which is also another surprise, right? I think the Dolphins, it seemed like that window with McDaniel opened immediately, and it looked like, oh shit, Dolphins are for real. Tua gets hurt. Shocker. No one, surprised no one. I can't believe Tua is still playing football, to be honest. That one blows my mind.
I don't know, though. I've played with a few concussions in my life, but I've had 2 in my career. And Austin, I'm telling you, it's hard to say no to it. And I mean,
Have you gone into posture? Have you gone into the posture
well, I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you a real quick story. In my college, I was a kick returner too, so I was actually the back guy, but they kicked away from me. So then I had to be the center guy and the wedge, where we used to do wedges back in the day. And at the time, I'm 165, 170. Linebacker hit me 360, knocked my mouthpiece out, and instantly, as soon as I went to the sideline, I threw up because it was just. And that's why I knew I had a concussion because as soon as I walked to the sideline, but this is the thing. Walked to the sideline, threw up, was spinning. We were on offense. Coach asked me, are you good? You know what I said? I think I'm good. Went right in and played for the rest of the game. So, football players is, and granted, I'm older now, so some things I do forget. But if I had to do it all over again, Austin, I don't think I would have never not played. So I get why he played. When you love the game, you love the game.
I understand, but you got to love life a little bit more. And he's got a lot of it. And again, these aren't just concussions. I'm talking this man is postured on the field three out of the 4. Like
For
there's
sure.
like enough people like in the, again, not a doctor, not playing doctor, but it's happened so many times that actual doctors have spoke up. Like this man could be one away from, I'm not really sure how he comes back from it. And he just keeps strapping it up. And the Dolphins like, sure, we'll pay that. We'll give that money. The whole situation again, that one's kind of wild to me. I get the drive.
And
I
we're
do.
seeing what CTE is doing after you finish
Yeah.
playing. So that's even scary too.
That's what
But
I'm
I
saying.
get them.
Like,
They paying them a lot of money.
I was gonna say, but bro, you've done so well at this point. You can have enough like sponsorship stuff, do some stuff off the field, be an analyst. Look, a former player and someone he's had success. He's done good things.
For sure. And
Just
he's
go
smart.
Mark Sanchez that
smart.
thing. Matt Ryan.
He's super
you could
smart.
Bama guy, like he could get a great job in the community and still get paid shitloads of money and have a real life. And again, I mean, that's what I mean. I get the drive, but to where you are now, where you've been, you could get whatever you want outside of football and do just fine. So that was a crazy miss. But yeah, I think end of the day we agree this is going to be an ass kicking. No confrontation here.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever. All right, well that is it for this episode of Chalk Talk Social.
Before we go,
oh
Austin,
shoot,
I
that's
gotta
right.
show you.
We got an image.
I gotta put my beautiful young,
Hey.
just superstar girlfriend on her. Texas A&M Aggies. Y'all see her 4 national titles. This was 2010, I think. She still looks the same too. This was 2010, 2011, one of those. They won, so I told her I was gonna put her beautiful face with her team and her trophies on the screen because we lost and they won. So shout out to my baby girl. I love you. You look good. You won a lot. You're a Hall of Famer, but still, we'll get y'all later next year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she's racked up with trophies. Damn. Yeah. But hey, honorable man, they got you. She got you. I'm sure she's prancing around. We heard her before the episode. Loud chirping. Peanut galleries loud in the household.
Yep.
But all right, well, congrats to her on winning the rivalry, in-house rivalry. Yeah, damn, she's got a lot of trophies. Holy shit. All right, now that's officially a wrap on this episode of Chalk Talk Social. And like every week, we will see you again on Friday. Until then, keep on.